Back doing my review for the Scream series. I'm going to continue my reviews today with Scream 3. Um, Now, Scream 3 came out in the year 2000. Um, Came out like 3 years after the second one. And, honestly, like, since the first one came out and then in 96 and then the second one came out in 97, a year later, when the third one didn't come out for a couple of years, everybody kind of thought the series was over. Um, I didn't think they'd get another one, honestly. Yeah, I remember going to the movies and watching this one. It definitely wasn't as good as the first two, but it was okay. It gave you a little bit more of a backstory about Sydney's mom. And, you got Wes Craven back directing it. You got Nev Campbell back, Sidney Prescott. You got, you know, you got Liev Schreiber back as Cotton Weary, which I never said him in the second one, but he ends up saving everybody's ass in the second one. He's the one who ends up fucking killing the killers and helping Sydney out, when he was pissed at her in that movie. And so he fucking, came to bat in that movie, man. He fucking helped her out big time after she kind of dissed him. So you gotta give him his props for that. Yeah, this movie, I don't know if they had problems with it, and that's why it took so long to come out. Like they couldn't come out with a good story for it or whatever. But yeah, you got Liev Schreiber in this. He dies off pretty early in the beginning movie. The killer calls him and looking for Sydney because after the second one, she kind of goes into hiding in this one and like just fucking out in the woods living like the fucking Unabomber, man. And you can't really blame her. I mean, she's had killers come after her twice now. And you'd think if I were her, I'd be fucking living somewhere on some island where people wouldn't be able to know where the fuck I'm at either. So I don't blame her at all for that. But you got Courtney Cox as back as Gale Weathers. You got Nev Campbell back, obviously. Liev Schreiber. You got You got David Arquette back again as Dewey. He doesn't work for the police at all in this one anymore. I don't think he worked for the police in the second one either. Kind of got fucked up in the first one, and now he's got like a limp and shit in the second one. So, and you can understand, he got stabbed in the back and it hit some nerves, I guess. So, you got Jenny McCarthy in this one, plays Sarah Darling. Cause see, there's like a thing going on with these. Like I explained in the first one or in the second one, they came out with the stab series, and it's supposed to reflect what's happening in the Scream movies. So they're like movies based on events that happened in these movies. So now they're on to Stab 3, and they're making these movies and based on the events of the Scream movies. And so now they're going to be making Stab 3. It's in production. It's supposed to be getting made, which I kind of like the way they did that. It was interesting. It gave it like an extra dimension on it, I thought. I don't know. It was just interesting how they did it. This one takes place in a different place. It takes place, I think, out in California somewhere. Not really sure where to really. Exactly, but you got a lot of interesting characters in this one. Like I said, it's not as good as the first two. Long story short, basically, I mean, like I said earlier, I don't want to get into super long reviews, but long story short, basically, you got Nev Campbell. She's hiding out. People start getting killed again. Cotton Weary gets murdered in the beginning. You got Dooley Riley, who kind of like is working for the studio now. He's kind of like a creative dude, because he was there. He actually was in these events that happened, and so they're making these stab movies, and they wanted somebody that was actually there and witnessed the shit going down. So he's kind of like there being like a script supervisor type of thing. You do get a brief cameo of Jamie Kennedy's character of Randy in this one. You get him kind of. It's weird. His sister ends up showing up out of nowhere, which nobody knew he had a sister because she never showed up in any movie except for this one. But they're like investigating all this stuff that's going on because what the deal is the killer is killing people and he's leaving pictures of Sydney's mom, but he's leaving pictures of her when she was like really young, and nobody understands like why, because nobody knew that like nobody knew that she had a career outside of like being a mom and doing whatever she did for a living. She disappeared for a year and nobody knows where she went and what she did. And now, so anyway, back to Jamie Kennedy's character there for a second. His sister shows up. They're investigating all these murders and stuff and trying to figure out what's going on there. And his sister shows up and she's got this videotape. And apparently he made a videotape in the second one before he died. Basically breaking down the rules for him, what's going to happen in the third one. And I remember the trailers coming out for this when I was younger. I remember the trailers and I was always like, oh, that's a cool trailer, because he's got this line in there where he says something like, all the rules are broke, anybody including the main character can die. That means you said, I'm sorry. And I always thought that was neat, because it did, the difference between trailers back in the 90s and stuff and trailers nowadays, like, they had the internet, but it wasn't as big as it is now. So, like, you didn't see trailers a lot except for on TV, really. And so, like, when they came out, you just took it for whatever it said, and there was no, like, diagnosing it and, like, trying to figure out every little part of it. And, like, nobody did that back in the 90s and shit, early 2000s. Like, nobody really did that. Not that I can remember, anyway. Maybe I was just out of the game or whatever, but I don't remember any of that shit. So, long story short, basically, everybody's getting killed. Same as the last two. Gets all the way to the end. You don't know who the fucking killer is. You find out that Sydney had a brother. Okay? When her mom took off for a year and went and did this, she went and worked for this film studio. She did some stupid movies. You got some other, and she went and did these movies, and she kind of got taken advantage of and stuff. It was suggested that she may have gotten like raped, or she just got taken advantage of, and in taking advantage of, she fucking had another kid, and her kid is kind of weird. The story in this one it makes sense, but it doesn't at the same time. But so anyway, we find out Sydney has a brother. Come to find out, the brother is the killer. He's got his reasons for wanting to do what he's done, and they're justified somewhat. I mean, you can tell the guy's fucking nuts. But everybody thinks it's this director because he's supposed to be directing the new Stab movie. And, yeah, I mean, he gets arrested. Same thing as like a Billy Loomis thing. He got arrested. You think, okay, well, they cleared him. They let him go. He didn't do it. And then come to find out he fucking did it. They add a couple new elements to this. They have a voice changer thing that the killer's got. They can, like, mimic people's voices and stuff, which is pretty cool. I mean, they did add some things in this one that were neat, that were new. Really just nothing new, though. I mean, other than a few little things, it wasn't really anything new. Yeah, really nothing to talk about with this one, other than I just remember going and seeing it. It's a decent sequel. It's not the best. I like it better than Scream 4, I'll tell you that. Scream 4 was okay, but yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it, but I don't know. Scream 3 is better than Scream 4, I think, in my opinion. Anyways, yeah, with this one, so you find out the brother's the killer. He ends up dying at the end, typical shit. I mean, she ends up kind of letting it go. You get the sense like she's done. She's taken her brick wall down. She's not gonna like be a hermit crab anymore. It shows her like leaving her door open and opening her gate at her house, and everybody's getting along and stuff. It is what it is. Really nothing else to talk about with this one. It's decent. It's definitely got a different tone to it than all the other ones. I liked parts of it, but it wasn't that great. Um, yeah, I mean, if you're into the series or whatever, and you like Scream 3, that's cool. That's awesome. But and I like this movie. I do. I like it. It's just I don't like it as much as the other ones. It gave us nothing new. I hated Courtney Cox's look in this movie. She almost looked like she did short hair, and she looked like, I don't know. She just looked weird. I didn't like the black hair thing. Anyways, that's all I got to say about Scream 3. I'm going to continue on with the last one in the series, just Scream 4. Like I said, I've never seen it. I would recommend it. Definitely a good series so far. I'll continue on with number 4, but that's all I got to say about Scream 3. Next review will be on Scream 4. Thanks.